Just off US Highway 12 in the Irish Hills of Brookyln, Michigan. The Di9 Designs NAOR series visits Michigan International Speedway, which is the host tonight for the season finale. Tonight, we crown a champion. I'm Joshua Copernell. I'm joined by Jonathan Canfield. John, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good, Josh. Good evening. Good evening to all you folks at home. I'm excited to get on with this race, the culminating race of the season. We already have a for sure champion, but yeah, I'm excited. This is the end of a season, the end of an era for this series right now, and this season. It's been a great season, and I hope we can continue.
Yeah, this has been an incredible season. Definitely, I really wasn't sure what we were going to see this season. But, it's been a great season. Super glad that we've been able to broadcast this. And, we do know who our champion is tonight. But we still have a race to be ran. And, could see a new winner tonight.
That we could, and we could see a repeat winner, someone add their legacy on this list of winners that we have. And I think there's quite a few drivers to be watching for, and one of them in particular, although he's not racing for a championship tonight, is going to be pretty much locked up for tomorrow's championship with the In the Pit News Truck Series. And he came out here to race tonight.
It's actually the 92, Jonathan Parker. He is racing here tonight. Had a pretty good run last week in Charlotte.
That he did, Josh. And as interesting as we talked about with him being as dominant as he's been, has yet to pick up a win here. Shown speed, led a bunch of laps, but has yet to really pick up a win in this league.
He's only done a couple of races so far. And he's had opportunities. I think he'll get a win here. If not tonight, very, very early next season. Looking to see if we can get a word with Chris Wright, but I'm not seeing him available. So let's bring in another driver. Hey Josh, it's Boys in the Booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
So we're here. It's been a long season. This is the season finale tonight. So we know who our champion is going to be. But overall, what can you tell us from how this season went from your perspective as the league owner?
Well, as the league owner, I'm always trying to get at least one win. So I feel like I, deserve to belong here. But other than that, no, I mean, I think we've had fun. There's only been a couple of races or a couple of tracks where we had, quite a few cautions, but then the other one was just a lot of green flag, few caution racing, and just enjoyed every bit of it. I mean, there's always a difference in attitude when you can come out and finish 8th and just have fun doing it. And so that's pretty much what I like to instill over here. So I think the season went great. Congrats to Chris on the championship. And, I'm still in technically a little race. I've got like a few point lead on Nick Happyack. So, best friends on here for racing for 7 or 8 years. So I will try to hold him off tonight and finish P2. So that'll be fun to try to battle him. Just a race inside a race. But no, I mean, I'm looking forward. We've finally filled that left side ticker, that I told you I wanted to do this season was fill your 20 spots that you had, over there on the ticker. So we got that done. And now we just, it's down to the drivers. I've got about 13, 14 votes coming up here in the next few weeks. I'm going to try to start the season sometime in April. So, just the normal month and a half break somewhere around through there, just to get the drivers fresh and all that to kind of start a new season. I already know the track, and you can announce it whenever at the end of the race. I'll put it in the Discord for you. But I already know our first track. You'll be able to announce the next ride for next season based on that vote that's in there by the end of the race. Whatever you see is what we're going to go with. And like I said, the date, probably about a month and a half, sometime in April. So, just check us out. Look out for us here in the future.
Tell you, I'm really looking forward to that next season starting. And looking forward to when it comes back.
Absolutely. I thank you all season. I hope I make the booth tonight. There's only one that makes it, so which is a lot different than most leagues. But I hope I'm the one talking to you later on tonight. But if not, I just want to say thank you to every one of your team that broadcast, that did different things behind the scenes. The podcast, I want people to tune into that. Even if we're not racing, I hope that continues and stuff like that. And just, thank you to everybody who's tuned in. We got your 300 subscribers that you wanted, and we've gained a few more since then. So, next goal, we need to set a goal here in the next, year to be at 400 and just help you keep growing and do everything in our power to put good product out there where people want to keep tuning in. And so in everyone on your team has provided that for everybody out there. So thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. But I think we're getting kind of close to qualifying here in the next few minutes. So I need to get back down there and make a few announcements here before the race. But I hope you get to see 2-3 wide action. I told everybody make good choices. So let's hope that they do. And you can get another one of those like caution-free Talladega type races, hopefully. So, but we shall see.
Alrighty, well, good luck to you tonight. Maybe we'll be talking to you a little bit later.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Jonathan.
And that was Josh Arnold on how the season went. So I'm not really sure if we have time to interview Chris Wright right now. With
I'm good.
Josh Arnold going and making an announcement, but well, he said he was good. So John, you want to go ahead and interview Chris?
Well, Chris, glad you were able to join us. It's a special night for you. You've already got the championship locked up here tonight. Go ahead and talk to us about how your season went and how you plan to close out this chapter of this season.
Yeah, it's a fun league to race in. Anybody's looking for a league to get into, this is a lot of fun. It's a tight-knit group. So Josh does a great job running it. Josh Arnold, all these guys were friends way back when Xbox days, and it still is that same kind of tight-knit friendship community. It's a great league. You guys do here at JCTV a great job with the broadcast. I got to be on the podcast this week for the first time, so that's great. It's a great podcast, and anybody who's not listened to it, go out there and find it. And don't listen to the one I'm in. It's not important. Listen to some other ones and learn about some other guys. But it's been a lot of fun. It's the season overall has been, obviously it's a good season for me. I've won the championship, won a few races here and there, and just had a lot of fun. The winning doesn't matter as much as having fun. Like if you're only going to stick around the league if you're having fun, and a lot of these guys are fun to race around. my brother's been showing up the last couple weeks, so hopefully we can help him and get him his first victory. That would be pretty cool if he can get a win here tonight or at some point next season.
And you talk about your brother being here and kind of just drag the folks at home through that of what it's like racing with a family member and, like you said, trying to boost him up and hopefully get him a win.
It's I guess it's a unique kind of deal in some ways because a lot of times we're teammates with people. You know, you have teammates on the sim that you race with and you're friends with and will help each other out. But it's a whole new twist on it when you can just have your brother come into your room or I can go into his room or whatever and just be like, look, this is what I'm doing. He can come in. Like, it's totally different. You learn so much more if you're actually there seeing it than looking at my telemetry. Now, telemetry is great. Like, it's a great tool. It can help a lot of people. You can share your stuff with everybody, but as far as actually being able to see it and go in and watch somebody do it and see how they're moving the wheel and what they're doing with the pedals and what they're looking at, what they're trying to do, it's a lot cleaner and a lot you learn a lot more from it. So Zach's picked it up. He's done pretty good. I think he's got a pretty good lap out here tonight in the speed charts. Obviously the practice laps. Drafting and whatnot. So we're gonna really about to find out what a good lap is going to be by yourself and see how it goes. Tire wear should be pretty good tonight. The car takes off a little free. It'll get tighter as we go. So that's something, as we're taking off here tonight, something you guys might see is a lot of guys sliding around, but that'll go away the longer we go and we'll be tight by the end of it and try not to wear out that right front tire. Like J. Paul said, or Josh, sorry, J. Paul, that's his gamer tag. Like Josh Arnold said when he was in here before he left, that some green flag racing, I think if we don't have a caution here in the first 3-5 laps or so, unless something happens with some contact or something, I think we'll get to see a lot of green flag racing, see a lot of green flag stops. And that's always fun to be able to pit under green and do that stuff under green. So hopefully the last race of the year is pretty good for you guys. Like you said, we're not racing for a whole lot tonight, but still going out there and having fun and winning the championship it's great, and it's obviously what everybody sets out to do, but it's all about the fun factor with these guys and racing people that you enjoy racing, and nobody wants to waste their time if they don't enjoy racing with people and hanging out with people, and we all talk through the week, not just on race night.
Well, Chris, we appreciate your time, and before we let you go, just who do you got to thank? Who gets it done for you in that 69 camp? And also, if you want to talk about it, what's your plans for the race here tonight?
Well, I want to give a shout out to you guys here at JCTV, Josh Arnold for the league he runs. I know Nick has started doing a lot of things, a lot of promo videos that he's been trying to help put together and whatnot, and a lot of new drivers. A lot of people have came up and helped out and added to the car count here, and we've got a lot of new guys. I know Donnie Kite has really gotten faster, I think. Looking at him, looking at Zach, looking at some of these guys who are probably going to be guys that are going to win races and contend for the title next year. That's kind of where I think my head's already looking at people who are going to be there next year as far as points-wise and season-wise. So already thinking about that and hoping, hoping that they can. Like Donnie winning the race would be huge. My brother winning the race would be huge. So hopefully new winners and whatnot. It's always cool when somebody wins for the first time or the second time, just one of those early wins, and then as far as tonight, I'm just going to run like I do every week. I think, if you set it up to something and try to do something different or just go out there and say, I'm going to do this week, or that never works. You always take yourself out of the game. So just being in the same headspace as I am for every race, just going to go out and run and see what I think about the car, see how I stack up and what kind of strategy to jump on with where the cautions fall and whatnot. And obviously getting a good look at that tire wear at the end of the first run will be pivotal, and as far as making a decision on when your next stops are going to be and how far you want to go on the tires.
Well, Chris, congratulations on a great season. A championship wrapped up last week, and good luck tonight, and we hope you can go out in dominant fashion here tonight.
Yeah, I hope that it's a good show for you guys. I think it's going to be. So thanks for everything you guys have done all season and the podcast and whatnot. It was a lot of fun to be a part of the podcast this past week. So hopefully it's a good show for you guys. Gets lots of likes, lots of clicks there, and hopefully it's good for the league as well. And bring all these guys back and do it again next year, whenever that might be. I don't think there's a for sure date on it next year, or later this year, I guess, would be when it would start. But thanks to you guys. Once again, can't say enough about you guys here at JCTV. I love going back and watching the broadcast. So as long as it's a good show for you guys, that's all that matters.
And that, folks, is your champion of this season for NAOR, Chris Wright. Chris, we'll let you get back down to it. Thank you, buddy.
All right, thanks, guys.
Josh, I think we're in for a good night. The way he's talking, we're going to get some good racing, and I hope we get some of that green flag run in that he's talking about.
Yeah, and I think so. We see time and time again with these guys where they'll just go green for a very long time. And, you know, this series, we're not guaranteed a caution at all. I love watching the NAOR series. The Di9 designs NAOR series. Really, this series is really good, really awesome. Puts on great racing week in and week out. And you know, we're here at the season finale. So right now, as we're watching Josh Arnold qualify, I just want to mention that I wasn't even planning on broadcasting this season. I wanted to race with these guys. So their last season that they had, I raced a couple races with them, and I quit racing with them because I had a commitment with another series that I started to broadcast, and that kind of fell through. And then I got busy again on Friday nights. And then towards the end of their season, my Friday nights were open, but I still didn't exactly return because I didn't want to interfere with the end of the season, you know. So they started back up with this season, and I was going to race with them full time. They didn't have a broadcaster, and I told them, I was like, it kind of turns out I'm a broadcaster. I do a little bit of broadcasting. So I'll broadcast your season opener. And my plan was just to do their season opener and then be on track for the rest of the season. But a lot of drivers, they loved it. They loved having us. And you know, I talked with Josh Arnold, and we made it a thing to where JCTV broadcasts full time. And he's already been asking us come back next season. I was really hoping that he was going to, because I really love watching the series, following the series, and I'm looking forward to the future.
With a little under 2 minutes left here in qualifying, Chris Wright is your pole sitter as of right now, with Pacey Wygen about almost a tenth of a second back, and then you go a couple hundredths back to Cole Snyder, and pretty much our top 7 are all within about a tenth and a half to 2/10 of each other. So a very close field here tonight. Pretty much all the way through the field right now. Everyone so far has been in the sub 39 range for lap time, and we've still got, it looks like, a handful of drivers that need to make a qualifying lap. As I look on the board now, it looks like Jonathan Parker is out there making his qualifying run. He just went to P2.
Yeah, lap 1 for Parker puts him P2, and you know what? Before I forget, because we were doing interviews there, as our practice rather was coming to a close, we didn't do our picks to win. So, you know, we got 40 seconds left here. Jonathan Parker is the only driver left out on track to take a qualifying lap. He is going to down through the front stretch at the line. Does not improve. So Parker sitting P2, and it looks like Wright's going to win the pole. But, you know, while we have just a couple of seconds left before we start seeing these drivers grid, who's your pick to win?
I think I'm going to have to go with... It's a tough one. It's a toss-up. But I think I'm going to take that 92, as we talked about. He's been dominant in other series. He's led laps here. Has not broke through for a win yet. But I think tonight's the night. I think he caps the NAOR season with his first win in the NAOR series. And we got a new winner here tonight.
I'm going to go with Cole Snyder, driver the number 24. Cole is going to start, looks like 4th tonight. I expect him to have a great run tonight. See if he gets done. So let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineup. Starting on the pole is going to be Chris Wright, Jonathan Parker to his outside. Pacey Wygent starting in 3rd. Cole Snyder, my pick, in 4th. And Braden Hull will start 5th.
Starting in that 6th spot is going to be the 6th car of Nick Hapiak. Next row behind him is going to be Kenneth Cheney in that 76 car, starting 7th. To his outside is going to be the brother of our champion, Zach Wright. And next row back is going to be the 7 car of Chase McGuire, starting 9th. To his outside is going to be Jeff No. Coming in at 11th is going to be Jose Ruiz. And to his outside is going to be Noah Blackwell. And Zachary Meredith's going to be starting in the 13th position. To his outside is going to be the 20 of Hunter Peach. Jamil Hawkins is going to be starting 15th. To his outside is going to be Josh Arnold. James Mensch is going to be starting in the 17th position. To his outside will be Jeff Lednam. Rodney Ayers will be starting in the 19th position. To his outside is going to be our final qualifier here tonight, Donald Kite. And then the start of our non-qualifiers in the 21st position is going to be John Osborne. To his outside will be, it appears to be the 77 of Doug Camp. And then behind Doug Camp, I see the 71 of Mike Campbell. And then rounding out the field, I see the 9 of Enrique Quinones. And I do not see Andrew Chapman on the grid, so it looks like the 18 is not going to make the call here tonight.
All right, and as the field gets on track, Chris Wright starting in the 1st position, exactly where he wants to be. He wants to go out and win this race, despite the fact that he has the championship locked up. It really doesn't matter where he starts, but he's going to have pole position. Pace truck is making its way into pit road. Barney the flagman has green flag, and we are green. Racing in Michigan.
And already we're seeing that side-by-side action that Chris Wright talked about. He jumps out to a lead right now, but the draft is going to play a factor here early. You're going to see that 92 pull right to his bumper and kind of give him a shot down the front straightaway. You see the 00 Pacey Wygent staying with them right now, riding the bottom. Josh, it's been a while since I ran a race here. I'm not sure what lane saves tire and what lane burns them, but right now it looks like the top is where a lot of these drivers are going.
I've noticed one thing with these 2-mile tracks is top lane really seems like the fastest line. But the bottom is the best place to save those tires. It's Nick Kapiak back here in that 6, trying to work his way up to the front. He is P7 right now, behind Cole Snyder.
A lot of side-by-side action right now. This pack right here really just stuck together. Side-by-side from Cole Snyder to Pacey Wygen up to Nick Kapiak and Kenneth Chaney. And even the 47 of Zach Wright sticking it down there on the inside, as he now has the 4 of Jamil Hawkins to his outside.
Yeah, everybody's trying to figure it out, what line they want to be in. Problem is, this track is so wide, you can get away with a lot here.
They are starting to single file out right now. The only car still side by side that I see throughout the field is that 47, as they're going to go 3 wide here in the corner. The 47 and the 4 are going to split the 7, and both of them move up a position there.
Jason McGuire losing a couple of positions. He's still under fire. Blackwell looking to the inside. And put Meredith to the inside as well. Cheney losing a position to Jamil Hawkins.
Back up front, Chris Wright has pulled out an advantage to Jonathan Parker, about 0.8 of a second, almost opened up to a second. And back behind him, you've got this group of 4. Back behind Jonathan Parker, I mean, you've got this group of 4 with Braden Holt, Cole Snyder, Nick Kapiak, and Pacey Wyden. None of these drivers really giving up any pace here and just running really close together. Looking through the field, Kenneth Chaney is to the outside of the 47 of Zach Wright right now, as the 7 of Chase McGuire is actually looking to make some spots back. He's peeking to the inside of the 23 of Jose Ruiz.
Yeah, McGuire, I'm wondering if he's just taking it a little bit more easy than other drivers. Maybe he had a little moment. Across a couple of positions. But one thing I've noticed this week is Auto Club week on iRacing, so a lot of the official series are there, and Auto Club and Michigan are both very similar in the way they drive, and I'm wondering if it's like Auto Club. What I've learned this week is it is hard to pass. Track position is key, and we're seeing drivers kind of run that top line like you mentioned, John. And if you're going to make a pass, it's going to have to be on the bottom, but you really have to work for the pass.
Absolutely, and I agree to disagree with you on the passing on the bottom. A lot of these drivers are leaving one specific area. I think that can work here, very open, and it's right around the wall. But you got to know how to ride that fine line, and you can make a pass to the outside here. We've already seen some 3 wide drivers splitting each other, in the middle. Leave one driver in the middle. One person go high, one person go low. So I think we could have a chance to see more of that here tonight.
Working the outside line. They're almost 3 wide there. But they figure it out. Stay single file for now.
And as I talked about that fine line, I see one driver actually going up a little bit higher here, trying to build a run. It's that 6 of Nick Hapiak. He's going to have a run off the corner, and looks like he's going to peek to the inside of Braden Holt here.
Hapiak is ahead of Braden Holt. Hapiak trying to get around Pacey Wygent now. And speaking of Wygent, they have a good race last week in Charlotte. We were used to seeing Wygent running up front since he's showed up to the series. We've kind of struggled at Charlotte. Running in the top 3 right now. Oh, may have had a little moment there off turn 2. It's going to open up the door for Hapiak to look to the low side and put himself in the top 3.
Yeah, and as you see Hapiak make that pass, just going to take a look through the field here. Looks like Noah Blackwell's looking to the inside of Cole Snyder right now. Jamil Hawkins was able to get around him. And now it looks like Blackwell's going to get around the 24 as well. And it's going to leave Kenneth Cheney to set his sights on the 24 next.
Kenneth Cheney, another driver that looking to rebound from last week. Cheney had a couple of lap penalty. Started Charlotte 2 laps down. And, couldn't get the laps back. This series has no lucky dog rule or no free pass rule. So Cheney, he would have had to have taken wave rounds to get his laps back. He took one wave around, but just cautions did not fall in his favor to try to get back on the lead lap and back into strategy with the rest of the drivers.
Yeah, and I think we'll see Kenneth Cheney at least rebound a little bit here. I mean, he's going to finish better tonight than probably where he started last week and where he finished. But the key important thing for him is going to be keeping his nose clean, because as you and I both remember, he received that 2-lap penalty as a result of incidents at Martinsville. So, yeah, short track, completely different track than Michigan, but I think that 76 is also on the focus of keeping his nose clean and just trying to have a mistake-free race.
3 wide back here for 10th place. Meredith was to the inside of Snyder. McGuire was also there. McGuire is now falling like a rock down the back straightaway. Meanwhile, Meredith still to the inside of that 24 Snyder. Another driver struggling to find speed early on in this race. Snyder started P4, and right now he's going to be looks like 11th at the line. Pacey Wygent still holding on to 4th place, just behind Nick Hapiak. Braden Holt is coming to the picture as well. Pacey Wygent going to get back around Nick Hapiak. as we come around. 16 laps complete here from Michigan International Speedway. We're going to step aside. Don't go anywhere. This is a thing. Flag is out, and what a start by Hunter. Yeah, Hunter Peach.
Oh, and Nick Hapiak's in the wall. Bunch of drivers getting out of the way to avoid him. Not what you want to see early on here.
Yeah, I did. Oh, trouble!
Oh, contact. That's
up and over onto the grid.
I believe that was the 83 on the door, but the 21 of Jared Wilson. Didn't see any other drivers involved. And just to update what I had brought up earlier, indeed, the second Wright brother was not actually involved in the wreck. He had contact with the outside wall long before this wreck happened, coming out of turn 2. Andrew Chapman, we've seen him be the first car to pit road to start this cycle. Hunter Peach able to run it a little bit longer, so right now Peach has the tire advantage over Chapman. How much does Chapman fight here? Does Chapman try to save his tires and hope he can have some tire left to run down Peach at the end?
Don't think Ruiz gonna get there.
I think Peach is on cruise control as he comes through turn 3 and 4. He's gonna see the checkered flag and he's gonna get to burn it down. Give it up for Hunter Peach in that 20 car, taking home the win here tonight in the Di9 NAOR series. Second place going to Jose Ruiz. Third place to Chris Wright.
A recap of Charlotte from last week. Hunter Peach, of course, taking the race win there. Braden Holt, he's worked his way into third position, getting past Casey Wygent and Nick Hapiak. Wygent lost position to Braden Holt and still running just behind Hapiak. Hawkins, he's worked his way into trying to battle with these guys.
Yeah, and talking about Jamil Hawkins, he started 15th, biggest mover of the race so far, up almost 10 spots.
Doing pretty good in that 4 machine so far. Well, this field is really gotten spread out among some drivers that I've seen one battle, and it is right back here. Look at all these cars under a blanket. Oh, contact! Hard in the wall, Hunter Peach. We are still under green. Caution has come out. Hunter Peach, Zach Wright, they made a contact. Well, I mentioned those cars were all under a blanket.
Yeah, it looked like going back to replay, the 50 of Nick Blackwell. Didn't know that Hunter Peach was out there and just went up like he had the line, and the rest is history. Crash on lap 23 here.
See if I can find the replay here. See there, I think Blackwell just didn't realize Peach was there. Turned up and made contact. Brought out a lot of chaos.
And with that, the whole field is going to come down pit road. We're going to have every car on the track on pit road here. Looks like Chris Wright is going to win your battle off pit road. Jonathan Parker is going to be second. Then it goes back to Braden Holt, Jamil Hawkins, and I believe that is the 23 of Jose Ruiz, 17 Zachary Meredith, 00 Pacey Wygent, 6 Nick Hapiak, 7 Chase McGuire, Kenneth Cheney, Zach Wright, Donald Kite, and what is that car number? That's the 60 on the doors, 42, I believe, in the sim of Jeff No.
So as the field gets double file here, we're going to go green with 102 laps to go for Michigan International Speedway. And as the field is coming around off turn 2, I just want to mention that I am very lucky and blessed that I have power right now. Not too far from Michigan International Speedway is where I live and I'm from. And we had a really bad storm a couple of nights ago. Wednesday night, a lot of people in Michigan right now without power. And there are a lot of down trees, a lot of down power lines. I have no idea how I'm not affected, but I'm very blessed that I'm not. But I'll tell you what, there's a few places just down the road from me that have no power, and it's not expected to come back on for another few days. A lot of crews are working, so we're here, we're safe, and hope you guys are staying safe and warm where you're at. Green flag back in the air. We're away once again here at Michigan International Speedway. Chris Wright took off and he's being challenged by Jonathan Parker.
Yeah, we've seen Chris Wright able to open up a lead last run, and I expect no different here, but maybe Jonathan Parker learned something on that run there, and he's going to be able to present a challenge here as Braden Holt is still side by side with Jamil Hawkins. Jamil Hawkins sends it in deep to the corner. He's going to have a chance at third, and he does. He does have third. Put Jamil Hawkins up to third, chasing Jonathan Parker.
And Hawkins going to look to the outside of Parker, trying to make something happen. He's going to be there. Say we're on side by side. We look back here, they're all over the place. Meredith trying to find a hole to get in line on that outside. He finally gets it just in front of Kenneth Cheney. Cheney now looking to the outside all the way up there. He'll be to the outside of Meredith. Meredith still trying to work on six machine of Nick Gapiak though. Back up towards the front. Jamil Hawkins has gotten around Jonathan Parker. Hawkins now has his sights set on race leader Chris Wright.
And this 4-car continuing to impress. Moved up the field very well here. Reminder for everyone at home, this driver started in 15th and he is up to the second spot chasing the lead right now. So that 4-car's got a lot of speed. We'll just see if he's able to do anything with it.
We're going to be 3 wide down the back straightaway for a split second. But Zach Wright goes to the inside of Zachary Meredith. Wright makes up position.
And somebody else to kind of note on here, Josh, who's kind of quiet but is inside the top 10 now. Donald Kite started 20th position, has made his way into the top 10. Battling for the 9th spot with Zachary Meredith, and he's going to get that 9th spot.
He does. Meredith looks back to the inside. Kite trying to work that outside of Zach Wright. Not quite there yet.
So looking through the field, though, Jamil Hawkins and Donald Kite, the only 2 drivers so far that started 15th or worse and have worked their way into the top 10. Jamil Hawkins worked his way all the way up to 2nd right now. Very impressive runs out of these 2.
Yeah, for sure. One thing that the series is, they're a big set series. Everybody running the same setup. And when you start in the back of the field, it can be hard to work your way up towards the front when racing everybody that has the same thing in their car that you do. So right now, those 2 drivers, Hawkins and Kite, doing a great job.
Yeah, and even throw the 37 of Leadenham in there too, starting 18th up to the what would be the 12th spot, and same thing with Mensch, starting in 17th up to the 13th spot. Those 2 drivers both started outside top 15 as well, and they're both knocking on the door of a top 10 spot. Is up front. It looks like Jonathan Parker has gotten back around the 4 of Jamil Hawkins. And that's going to leave Chris Wright with about a 1 second plus lead over 2nd place right now.
Yep. Parker has gotten back around Hawkins, as you mentioned. Leading Parker. Wright's about to get into well, at least one lap car up ahead. It's going to be Josh Arnold, of course, involved in that caution that we saw not too long ago. Arnold just ahead. So far, we only have one driver who is not on track right now. Hunter Peach still down on pit road.
And as I'm looking at the lap times, Jonathan Parker is closing on our race leader here. 40.9 to a 41.0. Jonathan Parker really showing some speed right now, but we'll see how long that keeps up as we get later into the run.
Back here at Donald Kite once again. Falling back to the 10th position. Like he's go to 11th. Moment, actually, yeah, he is 11th. Almost to 12th as Lednum works his way on past. Put in Cappy trying to get around Kite as well. Guys still battling back here. 10th place. A battle for 5th though. Jose Ruiz has caught up to Pacey Wygent. He's trying to get into the top 5. But back in front, you mentioned it not too long ago. Parker has been reeling in our race leader, Chris Wright.
Indeed he has, and he's showing still some pretty great speed. Right about on pace. Chris Wright had the better lap last time by. We'll see what it is this time. Almost 2/10 that time Jonathan Parker was able to gain. And now he's closing fast. Really entering the corner better than Chris Wright right now. But I think Chris Wright is just getting a better run off.
And the other thing to consider is Parker is really in the area where you can get a draft as well down the straightaways. And that'll help Parker as well. The only thing that may hurt him trying to get past Chris Wright is that dirty air.
Yeah, and dirty air is just going to play to make the car tighter than what it actually is and make it hard for him to turn down on the exit of a corner to get a run, or make it hard for him to take the top side and try to roll right up to his door. But yet again, he's still closing down little by little here.
Well, back to this battle for 8th, 9th, 10th. Zach Wright has the position over Zachary Meredith, Jeff Lednum, Chase McGuire, and Nick Kapiak. All these guys are under a blanket. It's insane. These guys are this close to each other.
While we got a second here, Josh, I was able to catch up with one of our drivers from the Infield Care Center, Hunter Peach, involved in that first wreck here. Go ahead and take us through what happened there and what ultimately resulted in you pulling it behind the wall here tonight.
Don't know exactly what happened. I was going to one, just kind of, first of all, qualified pretty bad. I stuck back in traffic. Kind of made my way up to there with Josh and all of them, and got up to Arnold, and I don't really know what it was. Got loose on the bottom and kind of just made Donald react. Not mad at him, not gonna put any blame. Kind of came up, doored me in the wall, and sad I collected Josh in that as well. He was doing good. But car was basically just killed. To be honest, the car was just tight, like. Not really a big fan of the Xfinity at Michigan. Just me personally, just don't think it's a good combo. But I'm not gonna hate on it.
And you picked up the win last week at Charlotte, so obviously tonight, very different set of circumstances, getting put it behind the wall here early. But last race of the season, who do you got to thank here in this 20 camp? Who gets it done for you, and how do you feel about the season overall?
I gotta thank, first of all, CR and all of them, Michael Meredith, all, and then Joshua Arnold for the league, you two for putting on a broadcast this whole year. We wouldn't be here without y'all, or without Josh as well. Everyone in this league did phenomenal. That's the Chris on his championship. He definitely was the star driver all year. Props to him. And this season overall was kind of, I feel like last year was a bigger year for me. Just came short of the championship, but more than likely just here to have fun, just with the boys, and wasn't having too much fun tonight, but not gonna criticize it. It is what it is, you know, stuff happens. But yeah, it's just, season was kind of just mixed. I know I had a lot of stuff this year, so I couldn't make every race. But excited to be back next year.
Oh, absolutely, and congrats on a good season here, Hunter. Sorry it had to end the way it did. We hope to hear from you next season and hope that you have a good season next season.
I'll do good. You know, I'm doing fantastic on the broadcast. I'm going to sit here and probably watch it. Probably make a few paints.
All right, and that is Hunter Peach from the Infield Care Center.
We have battle for the race lead. It is Chris Wright and Jonathan Parker. Parker had gotten underneath Wright. They were side by side, and Parker started to push up a little bit, got loose. Had to bail out of it, but he is still right there with Chris Wright.
Yeah, Josh, they've been going at it lap after lap as we were conducting that interview. And, you know, you and I have probably talked to Jonathan Parker and Chris Wright a ton at this point, and we know that neither driver is going to back out here, even if it is only lap 45 of a 125-lap race. They're going to race like it's the last lap, every lap, if it means keeping the lead.
Parker is doing a great job just staying patient for the most part with Chris Wright. I mean, he's looking for opportunities. He has a couple of opportunities that he's taken. It's not worked out so far, but Parker is being patient and not really pressing the issue too much.
And we've seen that out of Parker a ton. He studies little by little each time he's battling for a position and tries to figure out when to build the run and how to get the job done. And right now we see him trying to put it into action. We'll see if he clears off the corner exit. They're going to be side by side on exit, but oh, it looks like Parker got a little loose and Chris Wright grabbed a little bit of wall. So they're going to be door to door down the back straightaway going into 3 and 4. We'll see who sends it deeper.
These two drivers are just so even. Wright pushes wide on exit. Parker, he goes all the way down to the apron, and at the line, it is Parker to lead that lap. So first time anybody not named Chris Wright has led a lap here tonight. Parker still trying to hang on.
And I think this line can pay off for him. He's forcing Chris Wright to run high right now and kind of use up his tires and push hard here. But at the same time, Jonathan Parker himself is pushing hard on the bottom. And that could be heating up his tires as now he clears Chris Wright. We'll see what Chris Wright does to return and try to fight back. He's going to peek to the inside now and put the 92 outside and see what the 92 has for a tire.
At the line, it was Parker again. But here we go, into one. Wright sends it. He's going to slide up in front of Parker. And Parker has an opportunity to try the crossover. He does not take it. He stays right there behind Wright. Takes a look down the back straightaway, and now into 3. He's going to be to the inside of Wright. And once again, they're going to be side by side.
And all this is happening, and I see a 4-car of Jamil Hawkins peeking up in the background. He's actually closing on these guys as they continue to battle.
Yeah, when you're battling side by side like this, it only slows you down. And it has a lot of opportunity to bring in drivers that are running behind. Parker, once again, clears Wright. Wright does a crossover move, looking to the inside. They're going to be side by side entering 3. Once again, this time Wright to the inside, Parker on the outside.
This time Parker's going to stay out there to the outside and get the run off the corner. We'll see if Chris Wright, last time they were side by side like this, Chris Wright got into the corner deeper. We'll see if he does it again or if Parker learned something and he's going to force Chris Wright to stay on the bottom. That time they stay side by side, very tight, not touching though. And Chris Wright is going to stay to the inside of this 92.
Wright's going to have to tuck in line behind Parker as Parker now has a lead. He is clear and going to try to run away with it.
And hearing it over the driver radio, Chris Wright comes on the driver radio and says that's all he had right now, but they were having fun. At least Chris Wright was having fun with that battle. And love to see that side-by-side action between two guys that are, one of them dominant in this league, one of them dominant in another league, both of them possibly champions after this weekend.
Yeah, and Chris Wright, of course, all he had to do was start tonight and championship for the Di9 Designs NAOR series. It's his. Parker, as long as we don't have more than 23 drivers show up tomorrow night in the BSR ITB and Truck Series, Parker is champion. So both these guys more than likely being crowned champion.
Yes.
This weekend.
And while we've got time here and the drivers really aren't battling too crazy, it is important to mention about tomorrow night. Tune in if you're here for the ITBN Truck Series Championship race. I don't have the schedule in front of me, so I can't remember off the top of my head what track we're at. Josh probably knows it better than I do. But, yeah, Jonathan Parker pretty much all but sealed up the championship. He said 23 cars or more make it a little harder for him, but if we have 23 or more, that still leaves the hands of Michael Kruger to go to work. He can't let Jonathan Parker get any bonus points or any kind of points for leading a lap. So it's going to be interesting to see what we get. But as you mentioned, Josh, pretty much Chris Wright already locked up the championship here. Jonathan Parker all but locked up the championship in the ITPN Truck Series.
That is at Kansas Speedway tomorrow night. Will be the host to the ITPN Truck Series season finale. Pit stops have started. Michgian, he came down pit road, and a couple of drivers decide to follow suit. This time by, it's going to be Meredith, Zachary Wright, and I believe that's Chase McGuire in the background.
And as the leaders battled side by side, I'm not sure what happened that we missed, but Braden Holt and Jose Ruiz have both gotten around the 4 of Jamil Hawkins, who is now currently also being passed. He already got passed by Pacey Wygent, but he's also getting passed by Kenneth Cheney.
Yeah, I noticed as we were watching Parker and Wright battle, Hawkins did lose a position to Holt. But the rest of this is news to me. Losing positions to Ruiz, Wygent, and Cheney.
As it looks like the 4 is going to slow down and possibly make a pit stop here. Indeed, he is. Hold on to her. Jamil Hawkins had a drama fest getting on pit road there. Don't know if he got down to speed, but man, he held a good wheel there. The 00 also pits with him. So Pacey Wygent and Jamil Hawkins are down pit road.
Yeah, incredible job by Hawkins to not lose it there. That was a crazy handling car trying to get down pit road.
Back up front, Nick Hapiak unlaps himself, but almost contact between him and the race leader. Very, very close there. Lucky that nothing happened out of it.
Stops continue to happen. Kenneth Cheney and Jeff Lednum down pit road. These guys working their way to try to unlap themselves. Saw them getting around Chris Wright. Braden Holt tucks down into pit road.
Here in the driver radio, it sounds like we might get the rest of the cars down pit road right here. I do anticipate seeing our leaders. The only one I haven't heard say anything yet is the 23, and he's coming down as well.
Wow. Parker.
So, yeah.
Parker came down pit road, and then Chris Wright followed suit. Wright drove it in real deep, gained a ton of time on Parker coming into pit road. Have to see here what it's like. Oh, gonna slide through his box. That is not what Chris Wright needed. He backs it up, still having issues, and he's gonna have to pull forward. Now backing it up. Parker going to get out of his box at the time that Chris Wright is just starting his stop.
And that's going to be an advantage to Jose Ruiz, who also made up a ton of time on the leaders himself when he entered pit road.
So Chris Wright is now exiting pit road, still on the apron for the safety measures. But Chris Wright going to lose a lot of time. Good news for him is that doesn't affect the outcome of the championship. This is not a race where the highest finisher of a certain amount of drivers gets championship. So Chris Wright, he can breathe, but gotta imagine that he's still frustrated there.
So as the last of them come through pit road and the cycle is mostly complete, right now Zachary Meredith, Jamil Hawkins, Pacey Wygant, Nick Hapiak are all in front of our former race leader of Jonathan Parker. Jonathan Parker comes out 5th right there.
And real quick, we are 3 wide for the race lead. Hawkins, Wygant, Hapiak, they went 4 wide for a moment with a lap car of Camp. And right now it is Hawkins, who was just 3rd, going to 1st, driving it in deep. Hapiak and Wygant still side by side. Now Hapiak going to clear Wygant, try to set his focus back on Hawkins to get the lead back.
And if I'm not mistaken, Jamil Hawkins, I believe, has the fresher tires out of this group. So as you see right now, he's putting a gap on the 6 and the 00 as they're side by side. But give it time, and they're going to be under fire from this 92 as well.
And Hawkins and Wygant actually have the same amount of laps on their tires. 6 laps for both of them, 10 for Hapiak, 8 for Meredith, and you see Parker in 5th. 3 laps on his tires now. And we are coming up to halfway at the line. 63 laps complete. NASCAR's fastest track, Michigan International Speedway. Jonathan Parker, he is already to the back of Zachary Meredith. Gonna look to the inside. And side by side with Meredith going into turn 1. So, we mentioned about the podcast, and this week's episode actually dropped today at a little after noon Eastern. And this week, we talked to Chris Wright on the Season 12 Di9 Designs NAOR series, and we have a caution, so we can come back to that. It is, I believe, going to be the 77 Douglas Camp slow in turn 3.
I also see the 39 of Donald Kite has no front clip on his car.
Take a look here. Looks like Camp got into the wall. Oh my gosh. Right in front of Donald Kite. And almost Chris Wright. Take a look here from up above. Kite had nowhere to go. Wright just squeaked on by, but for Douglas Camp, I mean, it looked like he was just getting real tight there off the exit of turn 2. Very unfortunate there for Camp, and Kite just being an innocent bystander there.
Yeah, that was unfortunate to see the 39 get that damage. Really nothing he could do, and same thing to Camp. Wasn't really trying to cause any incidents there, but slips up off the corner and hits the wall, and nowhere for the 39 to go.
So pit road is open. Everybody coming down pit road. Looks like the race off pit road is going to be won by Hawkins, I believe.
Indeed it is, and now Jonathan Parker is going to line up in the 3rd position, but this will be a test for him as he's really been inside of the top 2 to 3 cars all night. And going from the lead back to 5th on that last green flag round of pit stops. We're going to see how he rebounds here, if he's able to make quick work of these guys in front of him, or if he's going to struggle.
Your top 5 is going to be Jamil Hawkins, Pacey Wygant, Jonathan Parker, Nick Kapiak, and Zachary Meredith. So as the field is coming around turn 4, I believe they're going to get the 1 to green this time by. But as I was talking about just before the caution came out, as we talked to Chris Wright, as he stops in the fast lane to discuss his title run and the Di9 Designs NAOR series as a whole. Cameron Caldwell, winner of last week's Martinsville race from BSR ITN Truck Series, comes to talk about his Martinsville victory and the upcoming Truck Series finale tomorrow night. Slide Job racing driver Hunter Karsten talks about Slide Job's young 10th season, as that series just started back up for their 10th season. And we also had a discussion on the NIS Daytona 500. And another thing this season we're doing is have a JCTV picks. All of us that commentate or produce for JCTV, plus Michael Kruger. We're choosing every week one driver we think is going to win that week. I chose Ryan Blaney once again, back-to-back weeks, and we also have the debut of JUICYSPYDR Gaming Pre-Race Show. Check out the JCTV podcast Fastlane. Episode 3 dropped today, as I mentioned. The pace truck is off. Jamil Hawkins electing to restart on the outside. And green flag is in the air. We're back underway here in Michigan.
Side by side they go into the first corner. Jamil Hawkins in front of Pacey Wygant. Side by side for third. Nick Kapiak trying to get around that 92 of Jonathan Parker, who's now going to probably have to deal with the 23 of Jose Ruiz as he falls in line. Kapiak going to look to the inside of Wygant now. Everyone else seems to be single file back to, that is Chris Wright and his brother, actually, Zach Wright. Chris Wright able to clear Zach Wright up to Zachary Meredith. I believe we're still side by side for the second spot here. Yes, we are. And then Capiak, Pacey, Wygent battling for the second position.
Yeah, Capiak looking underneath. Wygent not able to do anything there. He's going to tuck back into line behind Wygent. Oh, Ruiz. He is all over the place. He's going to look to the inside of Jonathan Parker. Ruiz wants to make some noise trying to get into fourth position here.
Well, we've seen Ruiz actually make himself known on that last green flag pit stop as he chased down Jonathan Parker and Chris Wright. Maybe not the fastest guy right away on the fresh tires, but we've seen him all season long have some good long run speed at any track we go to. Masterclass at saving enough tire to be fast when it counts, and I expect to see that 23 somewhere up towards the top 5, top 3 here if we get another long run.
We have trouble. Going in turn 3, it is Douglas Camp. He is in the grass, so we stay under green. Should not have a caution thrown. I'm not sure if he's going to tow it. He is. So he wanted to make sure he was way away from the racing surface before he stopped his car. This way a caution did not come out. Class act by a driver there. Oh, it is so frustrating sometimes when you have issues. And first thing you want to do is get off track and not bring a caution out. And what's going to come out anyway? Jeff Lednum spun around in the middle of 3 and 4. Let's take a look back, see what happened. It looked like might have involved quite a few drivers.
It looks like it involves just him and the 54, Braden Holt, side by side. Not quite sure what happened there. Maybe just two drivers going for the same spot. But either way, 37 and the 54, that's probably going to end their day right there. Hard contact for both of them up to the outside wall.
Really a good camera angle there. But I did see where it looked like Lednum was trying to look to the inside of Holt. He may have just washed up the track a little bit. Let's see if we can get a good camera angle here. Yeah, it kind of looks like Holt was maybe arcing down and Lednum was coming up a little bit there. Entering the corner. I'm not sure if Lednum might have gotten tight. That's why he was going up. And I imagine Holt was kind of arcing down there because of entering the corner. Very unfortunate for drivers involved. Let's see here if we can get a word in with one of our drivers. Hey Nick, it's the boys up at the booth. You got a copy?
Howdy, how you guys doing?
Doing pretty good. How's it out there?
It's rough on the tires. It is really rough on the tires. I really need to figure out a better way to save them. That is for sure.
So these restarts have been wild. This is only third caution tonight, though. How have these restarts been?
It's kind of hit or miss. The last one was all right. The one before that kind of got a little scrambled, but I was a little bit more towards the middle of the pack rather than up in the front couple rows. It was getting hairy at times, but I really think that outside line is rough as it's going to be on the tires at the beginning. That I prefer being on the outside at the beginning just because it kind of bottlenecks at the bottom. And if you don't try to get to the top and seal your spot, you just kind of get freight trained on the outside. So you're kind of on defense a lot on these restarts. But I think it's going to get a little crazier here at the end, especially, I mean, we're coming to what, 55 to go. So I think it's going to start getting a little more intense.
All right, we'll let you get back up in there as about to go back green.
Sounds good. Have a good one.
And that was Nick Kapiak looking to have a good race at his own track. Field works its way through 3 and 4. Jamil Hawkins choosing the outside line. Of course, this league does not have a choose rule, but the leader can choose whether he wants to restart on the inside or outside. Only the leader has that choice. Pace truck is making his way back into the safety of pit row. Jamil Hawkins will be in control of the restart. And inside the restart zone he goes. Jamil Hawkins back on the gas, and Pacey Wygen did not get going there. Stacked up the bottom lane just a little bit.
Yeah, and I noticed the 92 was all over the bumper of that 00 trying to get him to go. And really, right now, I think that's what saved Jonathan Parker and allowed him to move up to the 3rd spot. But, man, just no go from that 00.
Pacey Wygen maintains 2nd place, though. And trying to work his way up to Jamil Hawkins. Right now, the top 5 under a blanket. It is Jamil Hawkins, Pacey Wygen, Jonathan Parker, Zachary Meredith, and it's a Wright, but it's not Chris Wright. It is Zach Wright in 5th position.
Top 4 right now, really nose to tail. You've got a gap back to the, or top 5 actually, nose to tail. Gap back to James Mensch in the 6th position. He's being chased by 42 on the sim, 60 on the doors of Jeff No. And then right behind him, Rodney Ayers and Nick Kapiak. Couple different drivers up here in this field up towards the top 10. John Osborne just now getting passed by Jose Ruiz and Chris Wright looking underneath to him. But a couple of these guys taking advantage of some strategy and running up front when they've been hanging out at the back all day.
Jonathan Parker looking at the inside of Pacey Wygen. Get back into 2nd place. They're going to be side by side off turn 4. And Parker currently has P2. He needs to get around Wygen. Keep Hawkins within striking distance. Wygen is going to drift up the track a little bit. This opens up the door for Parker to get clear. And for make that Meredith to get to the inside of Wygen. Wygen's still struggling. Going to lose the position of Meredith and tuck into line as quickly as he can.
You see the leader of Jamil Hawkins kind of snaking the front straightaway, trying to break the draft if he can. 92 of Jonathan Parker closing fast on this 4 car. And he's taking a peek down to the inside, but no run yet. He's going to get a good run off here and have the draft down the back straightaway. We'll see if he has a run going into 3.
Jonathan Parker trying to do everything he can, but right now, Jamil Hawkins leads 50 laps to go, 100 more miles around Michigan International Speedway. Top 5 all still nose to tail with each other. But Hapiak, he is trying to get back into the picture very quickly.
Parker's going to take a look to the inside of Jamil Hawkins here down the front straightaway. He is to the fender. Going to be to the door as they enter one. We'll see if he's able to clear into the corner. Jamil Hawkins going to drive it in as deep as he can. Jonathan Parker does the same. Advantage right now to Parker. Run going to be with the 4 car, though, as he's got help from the 17 behind him with the draft.
And Meredith is actually going to help Hawkins here. Give him a little bit of a bump draft.
But you see Hawkins carrying so much speed into the corner, he slips up. That's going to allow both Meredith and Parker to get by. And now Meredith trying to make some moves to get to the lead here on the 92.
Yeah, Meredith's going to go to the outside of Jonathan Parker. Parker has the lead right now. See what he's going to do. But, whoa, where'd the 6 come from? They're 3 wide for second place. Nick Hapiak looking all the way to the outside.
Yeah, exactly. Right there with you, Josh. Where did the 6 car come from? He was just back there battling for, I believe it was probably 7th or 8th position, and now he's up here battling for the lead. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead.
Oh, man, this is tight. And it's going to be Hapiak, who has an advantage over Meredith and Parker. Hapiak going to lead at the line.
You can tell they're starting to hit the counter on the laps right now, and drivers are starting to make their runs now if they want to be in the front. Might still have one more pit stop left, but that doesn't matter to these drivers. We are past halfway, and the countdown begins. It's time to get your car up front. Nick Hapiak does so. Jonathan Parker trying to close back down that gap. Meredith to 3rd. Hawkins still hanging around in 4th. And even Pacey Wygant still up here with this group in the 5th position.
Wygant looking to the outside of Hawkins. This was just a 5-car pack, but it's turned into 7. And not too far away is Chris Wright and 42 of no. Jose Ruiz working the outside of Jamil Hawkins. Hawkins going to fall back. Let's give Ruiz position. And sits 5th place right now.
Ruiz has a run into 3. Looks like he's trying to look to the inside of the 00. He's going to get a good run off here and be to the bumper. Doesn't do anything with it yet, though. Right now, the top 6 cars are single file, side by side between the Wright brothers. Zach Wright under fire from his brother Chris Wright. Zach Wright side drafting his brother, trying to keep up with him. Give the spot to Chris Wright at the line, and Chris Wright's going to clear his brother right there.
Sometimes side drafting can be so frustrating. We're getting side drafted. But getting side drafted by your own brother. Not really sure how I, as a racer, would feel about that, getting side drafted by my own brother. Nothing wrong with it. But Jose Ruiz looking underneath Zachary Meredith, trying to get himself top 3 now. But just ahead, Parker, to the inside of Happyack, wants that lead back.
You see the fire come out of the pipes right there of the 92 as he's letting off of it, trying to get the car slowed down enough to run the inside of the 6 car. 6 car able to just hold the throttle up a little bit more than the 92 there and get a run off the corner.
Parker looking a little lower down the straightaway. He's going to get there in turn 1. They're still side by side, off of 2, down the back straightaway. Parker gonna drive it in just a little bit deeper into 3. He is clear, but it was close. He wanted to take it, thought better of it, and probably made the smart decision there not to do so. The Happyack still rolling the outside line. And Happyack gonna clear Parker. He was leaning all over Parker there. Not giving much room for error. They are side by side once again into 1. Parker gonna drive it in deep, will clear Happyack. Happyack trying crossover. He is struggling to get back to the inside of Parker, and will have to settle in behind Parker for now.
And as this is happening, the field is closing on a lap driver here of Donald Kite. Not today. Kite wanted a lot of damage to that 39 car, and this field is closing at a fast rate to that 39 right now.
Yeah, Donald Kite not having a night he wanted. No front end there on that 39 machine, but you know, I've mentioned it a few times. I feel like if this series has an most improved driver award, it would go to Donald Kite. And you know, this may be a bad race, but I believe for Kite, it's not a matter of if he's going to win. I believe it's a matter of when he's going to win. It won't be tonight, but you know, look for him to get his first win as early as probably right at the beginning of the season for season 13 of the Di9 Science NAOR series.
Kite driving these drivers very aggressively here as
contact.
he's going to get contact from the 6 car. I was just getting ready to talk about, as a lap car, he's racing them very hard. Not sure what the reason would be for that, but contact there, very close between those drivers, and Nick Habiak kind of just moved him out of the way there. Didn't really take too lightly to being held down right there.
Now Pacey Wygen, Zachary Meredith just behind Kite. Wygen looks to the left side. Meredith actually going to take advantage of the draft from Kite a little bit. Into the outside of Wygen. And Meredith going to make a pass on Wygen. But Meredith, P4.
And now Chris Wright trying to look to the outside of Wygen as well, as Wygen got loose off the corner right there. Chris Wright trying to move back up through this field. Was the pole sitter of this race, has not had the smoothest race he could have, but has found his way back into possibly a top 5 position here if he could go run down that 17. Or actually, no, he is in the top 5. My scoring was still trying to catch up. So he is in the top 5, closing possibly back to a top 3 here if he can just run these guys down.
So we've had quite a few drivers retire tonight. Like Braden Holt, Douglas Camp, Kenan Cheney, Enrique Quinones, Noah Blackwell, Josh Arnold, and Hunter Beach are your retirees tonight. So far, Jeff Miller coming down pit road. I'm wondering if this is going to start the next cycle of pit stops.
This very well could be the start of the cycle, and kind of the money stop here should be the last stop of the race as we're coming up on lap 94. It's going to be close from this point on if you can make it, but we could be looking at some more drivers taking pit stops here very soon. As the 00 Pacey Wygen comes down for his final stop of the race. Right now, Jonathan Parker continues to lead, looking to see any other drivers that are coming down pit road here. But Pacey Wygen making his final, what would be his final stop of the race. Jonathan Parker continues to lead so far. I don't see any other takers to come down pit road here. Mil Hawkins is down right now. We see him locking up the tires again. Riding that razor edge there, getting as much as he can get on the pit road to try and make up some time any way he can. I noticed as I was clicking through the field, Zach Wright and Donald Kite very close together. Probably just having a little bit of fun out here. Donald Kite not trying to be in anybody's way, but definitely a driver probably a little bit bored right now with all the damage he has on his vehicle.
Zach Wright trying to get around Chase McGuire. That would be for the 6th position. Actually, McGuire was just ahead of Wright. These two actively battling for that position. James Mensch brings it down pit road as we continue to watch this battle between Wright and McGuire. And it looks like Zach Wright's going to come in this time. Battle here for second place. Jose Ruiz using all of the track he possibly can. I think that's about the highest I've seen anybody get tonight. And he's going to look to the inside of Nick Kapiak.
And as I mentioned earlier, Jose has shown great long run speed at any track we go to in this series. Guy that really knows how to save his stuff for later on in the run, and right now showing proof of it right here as he takes over the second place spot.
Ruiz is fast. Doing a great job. Zachary Meredith coming down pit road. This time by to complete what should be his final stop. And you see all this happening. Jamil Hawkins getting around Jose Ruiz, trying to get his lap back. Hawkins, of course, starting our pit cycle. And he's going to get around Parker. Get back on the lead lap. Meredith making his way out of pit road. And Chase McGuire making his way into pit road. Another driver not come down. Guy that was my pick to win. He's had a quiet night, Will Snyder. Looks like Jonathan Parker and Jose Ruiz are going to make their way to pit road. A lot of drivers coming down this time. John Osborne, Cole Snyder, Chris Wright, and Parker is going to get out ahead of Jose Ruiz. Stay right where he was coming into pit road.
Honestly, Josh, I think again Jose got a great entry into pit road, and he has actually closed the gap a little bit to Jonathan Parker, closer than what he was when he went in. Doing a great job here tonight of getting on the pit road and getting off of it just as clean.
We have a driver slow down the back straightaway. He is on the apron, out of the way. It is Jeff Lednum. Not sure what's going on with his machine, but he is still rolling.
It's, from the sound I can hear, Josh, that is a blown engine, probably due to his damage, because his engine is completely off. So Jeff Lednum's going to roll to pit road with that blown engine. We are sad to see that happen to the driver of the 37. Two laps down, still out here running with damage, trying to do his best. We're sorry to see that for the driver of the 37, as right now Nick Kapiak continues to lead. Jamil Hawkins is in second, and he is a good ways away from Nick Kapiak. But if you're Nick Kapiak, you've got to pit soon, because these drivers on fresh tires are going to catch you really quickly.
So Jeff Lednum has made it to pit road. And I think Kapiak, he is really hoping for a caution here.
We are almost into 20 to go, and he so far is the only driver to pit still.
the left side of the screen, you see it's been 33 laps since Nick Hapiak last came down pit road. Hawkins 9, Wygent 10, Jonathan Parker 4, and Parker actually makes his way to 3rd. As Parker is a man on a mission.
And I beg the question, Josh, I don't know if we pushed to how far these drivers can go. I haven't really counted the laps when they are out here running, but I don't know if the 6 thinks he can make it or if he is still praying for that caution.
I would think that he's hoping for a caution.
Oh, and as I say that, he is pulling it down pit road. It's going to hand the lead over to the 4 of Jamil Hawkins, depending on when he gets around, as he is still on the back straightaway. And Nick Hapiak is still pulling into his box.
And we're going to have a battle for the race lead. Parker looking to the inside of Hawkins. They're going to be side by side. They're going into turn 1. And Parker going to clear Hawkins. New leader, Jonathan Parker, retakes the lead. 20 laps to go here in the Irish Hills, Brookyln, Michigan.
And with less than 20 laps to go, I hate to bring it up, Josh, but that 23 car hasn't faded back either. And we've seen what he can do with long run speed. And we are currently in probably our longest run of the race.
Ruiz going to get around Hawkins. And now Ruiz trying to set his sights on Jonathan Parker, who is a little over a second ahead. But don't count out this man. Chris Wright just behind, side by side with Hawkins for 3rd position. Wright gets around Hawkins. Now Wright wants a say at this. Jonathan Parker catching up to the 54. Braden Holt put him another lap down. Braden Holt 28 down now. And the gap is 1.3 seconds between Parker and Ruiz.
Just trying to do some math here, Josh. Don't have the exact gap narrowed down, but I do know this. If you're going to catch Jonathan Parker right now and you're in Ruiz's position, and it feels like we said this, I don't know if it was last week or 2 weeks ago, but he's got to start chopping at the bit here and really getting that lap time down. And I'd say really get the gap to within a second to half a second within the next couple of laps to really have a chance at it.
I think you're right. We just took 15 laps to go here. Gap is 1.3. That's almost a tenth a lap. He's got to make up just to be right there with him at the end.
Well, and the reason I say within under a second to maybe a half a second is, as you brought up earlier in the show, there's draft at this track, so he doesn't need to get everything back. He needs to get within the draft of the leader, and that will help him close down on Jonathan Parker.
Laps to go. Ruiz is slowly gaining.
You and I both know that in a driver's head, if you can see him, you can catch him. And right now, I know Jose Ruiz can see that 92. He's just got to figure out how to catch him.
To go. And Parker a little bit quicker than Ruiz. It was a couple of hundredths of a difference there. Battle for the 7th position, Jeff No and Basie Wygen battling for what is the 7th position. No, look at the inside of Wygen. And No will clear Wygen. P7.
As we come to the line this time, we'll have 11 laps to go. Jonathan Parker still in front by about a 1.3 second lead. We'll see what the gap is close to across the line this time with Jose Ruiz. Down to a 1.283. So Jose Ruiz is closing and then giving up time, and that's just not going to get him to the bumper of that 92. He's got to continue to close. So still time here. 10 laps is a lot of time at a 2-mile track, but you really got to get after it here. And like I said, if you can see him, you can catch him. So Jose Ruiz just needs to really figure out what he's got to do to catch this 92.
Kapiak is on a mission right now, up to P4. He waited so long until he came down pit road. And you see the difference it's making here, but I don't think it's going to be enough to have a chance to get up there. 10 laps to go. He is 5.6 seconds back. Kapiak, I think he can get himself into the top 3. I'm not so sure he has a chance at collecting a win here. But if Ruiz gets up to Parker and they start battling, this could be a different story. Of course, Kapiak is going to have to get through Chris Wright either way. Right now, they are all spread out.
Yeah, and Jonathan Parker's getting ready to deal with another lapped car here. I believe that's going to be the 5 of Rodney Ayers. And we'll see how Ayers handles it. If he just lets the 92 go, or if he's going to kind of play a spoiler here and allow Ruiz to close up. Ayers stays high, doesn't allow Jonathan Parker to get all the way out to the wall on exit. We'll see if that affects him at all.
I think it did just a little bit there. And I'm noticing the fastest car on track the last time by was Jose Ruiz. 2/10 faster than Parker.
And right now, if you're Jonathan Parker, the last thing you want to see is that 23 getting up in your mirror and filling it up quickly. But Jose doing what he has to do, trying to close in as he has worked his way around the 5 easily. Still about a second is the gap as we're getting ready to come to 6 to go next time by. We are 7 to go right now.
It's about to become desperation time for these drivers. Ruiz just over a second of a gap. Trying anything he can. This, of course, is the season finale, so there is no next week. Ruiz is trying to get it done tonight, so he does not have to wait until April.
And we have a caution late here in the race coming to grab 5 to go.
It's JUICYSPYDR.
Battling side by side with the 7 of McGuire. Oh, McGuire looks like he might have got loose and just tagged the 00, or maybe he got tight. Not sure, but it looks like I'm not sure if Pacey got loose and came down or if the 7 got tight and came up, but contact between the 7 and the 00 brings out our most recent caution. And over the driver radio, Jose Ruiz says, "You've got to be kidding me." As now he knows it's probably going to be everybody down pit road here, fresh tires. Jose Ruiz stays out. He's going to gamble. Chris Wright comes down behind Jonathan Parker. Jamil Hawkins, Nick Hapiak stays out as well. Zach Meredith, Jeff No, Pacey Wygant still out on track. Zach Wright, James Mensch, all down pit road here. John Osborne, Cole Snyder, and I believe that's Braden Holt, all coming down for fresh tires here. But Jose Ruiz and Nick Hapiak gonna stay out, and possibly Chase McGuire as well.
Well, this is interesting. So, Jose Ruiz, get this up here. Jose Ruiz is on 21 lap old tires. Nick Hapiak, 15 lap old tires. Chase McGuire, 22. Everybody else, freshies. So I have to imagine here that Ruiz will not get a great restart unless he goes early, trying to get a jump on everybody. Hapiak may have a chance to get by Ruiz, but then everybody else, what are they going to do? And Parker, he's going to restart in looks to be the 4th position. So is Parker in the best position to win this race. We're going to restart 5 laps to go here. 10 miles to get it done. one last time in the Di9 Designs NAOR series. This is caution number 4. You know, they say cautions breed cautions. This is a series where I don't believe that saying, but you know what? 5 laps to go, season finale. A few different strategies going on here. John, what do you think? Is this our last caution?
I don't think it is. I think we're going to see some close racing and contact here. And I know that 23 wants a win really bad. I know the 6 wants the win just as bad. And we know that driver in the 92, all he does is try to win races. So I expect no backing out here, no space being given. And we're going to see a heck of a restart here.
So pace truck going to make its way down to pit road. Jose Ruiz has the field in his hands. Green flag is in the air, and they're stacking up behind. Chase McGuire spun the tires badly. We stay green, and up front, Parker already around Happyack.
Yeah, Parker's already around, and he's going to set his sights on Jose Ruiz. We'll see how much of a fight Ruiz can put up. He's going to let Parker get to the inside. With him comes Chris Wright. Chris Wright in the conversation for the lead right now. Chris Wright and Jamil Hawkins, both Happyack and Ruiz stay high. Hawkins, Wright, and Parker all go low. We've got a 3-car race for a win here tonight.
4 laps to go. This is still anybody's race. Jonathan Parker has the lead, but Chris Wright, he was fast early on before having issues. Jamil Hawkins, you've seen him out front.
And really, don't throw the 42 of Jeff No out of this either. If these 3 in front of him have issues passing each other, Jeff No could steal this.
Laps to go. Wright looks to the inside of Parker. Side by side. Wright trying to get in front of Parker. It's going to be a drag race to the line. 2 laps to go, and I think Wright is going to lead that lap. Parker still on the outside. Who wants it more? Wright going to send it into the corner, slide up in front of Parker. See what Parker does here in response. He's looking low. He's going to be there to the inside of Wright. And they're going down the back stretch, side by side into 3. Parker driving it a little deeper.
Yeah, Josh, and we're coming to get the white flag here. We've seen this battle before. Now we get to see it at the end of the race for a win. Who wants it more, Chris Wright or Jonathan Parker? Jonathan Parker leads it at the white, but the white flag is out. Let's see who's going to win this race.
White flag is out there, side by side. Parker not giving Wright much room. Wright going to slide up in front of Parker. Parker staying on the outside. I think Wright wanted to be on the inside maybe. Parker hanging on to it out there. He might have to pinch Wright down. Wright, plenty of room here. It's going to be a drag race to the line, I think. Parker looks low. He has nowhere to go. It's going to be Chris Wright starting on the pole, having issues, and coming back to win the race. It was a photo finish, though. Chris Wright, he caps off a season in which, well, I believe this is win number 4 on the season for him. Take home the checkered flag and the championship.
And what an end to a season. The 69 of Chris Wright caps off his championship season with a win here tonight. All he had to do was start the race and he got the championship, but doesn't want to do that. He wants to go out and race, and he races his way up to a victory here tonight. Congrats to Chris Wright and Jonathan Parker for putting on a heck of a show there at the end. And Chris Wright for taking home a championship and a win here tonight.
Chris Wright gonna burn it down. Alrighty, and as we are bringing in our race winner and champion, we're going to toss things over to Josh Arnold real quick. I have a few words to Chris Wright.
Hey, Chris, thank you for racing this season, and I just wanted to announce that you are the season 12 champion officially.
Well, thanks, Josh, man. It was a lot of fun to race out here. I'm glad to be back racing with all these guys. Like I was saying earlier before the thing started, it's a tight-knit group of guys, a lot of friends, a lot of people who've known each other for years. So it's awesome to get to race with you guys again. And as for tonight, man, how about that show with the 92? That was so much fun in the middle of the race with him, late in the race. I don't know. Hopefully you guys didn't catch what I did there in the middle of the race, but it wasn't not very champion-like there with that pit road deal. But I hope the show was good for you guys, because, I mean, those last 5 laps were absolutely some of the most fun I've had all season.
I'm going to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Chris.
Well,
Sorry, Josh, but I'm going to be honest, Chris. I caught everything that happened in the middle of the race, and we were watching it, had the camera right on you when it happened. And, I'm very surprised you were able to get back up. Working your way back up through there, and tell you what, those last 5 laps, man, what a drive. I thought Parker had it, and you did everything right. Now, I have a question for you. So, coming through 3 and 4 for the final time, I noticed, Parker was clear. He looked like he wanted to go low, but you held it low. Was that planned? Did you want him to have the outside there?
Yeah. The car actually is a little bit tighter down in 3 and 4. So when we got down off of 2 and I was able to get underneath him with the run I got, I knew he was going to run the high side, and he tried to outdrive me into the corner. And as long as I made a good corner, I knew I was going to be able to get the run off, and that's just what happened. It was a lot of fun racing him, though. It was all about trying to put your car in the right spot and seeing what it did. But luckily, couple laps prior, or maybe even the lap prior, he put me on the top, and I could tell it just was tighter up there. So I knew coming off of 3 and 4, if I wanted to win the race, I needed to be on the bottom.
I'll tell you what, that was absolutely incredible. Last few laps for you. I mean, you pretty much summed up your race overall. I mean, struggles in the middle of the race, and just working your way back up there.
Yeah, the most difficult thing tonight was running 55 mile an hour getting into my pit lane.
Yeah, so this caps off an incredible season. I believe 4 wins this season.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what they're telling me.
So yeah, I mean, just reflecting back on this season, it's been a really, really good season for you, and capping it off here at Michigan with the win. What has been the favorite moment of yours throughout this season?
Tonight, right there, those last 3 or 4 laps, hands down, that was some of the most fun all season. Racing that hard with him, and I knew we could do it because Martinsville was a lot of fun racing with him in the 0-0 there at the end. And so I knew that last restart with some guys on old tires, some guys on new tires, I knew I was going to have to try to keep pace with him. Luckily enough, we did, and then it was just him and I, and those last few laps, man, that was so much fun. We were racing door to door. He wasn't giving me an extra inch. I wasn't giving him an extra inch, but I don't think I ever saw even a 0x so much as pop up. So we did it without ever touching, and it was that was probably the best moment of the season, hands down, was right there.
Well, congrats on the win. Congrats on the championship. Before I let you go, Chris, who gets it done for you? Who do you have to thank?
I just want to give a shout out to everybody here at JCTV. You guys do a great job with these races and the podcast. I know we talked about it a little bit before the race. It's a lot of fun getting to do the podcast earlier this week. It's a lot of fun to go back and watch the broadcast after they're done. Of course, Josh Arnold, everybody here, all the drivers that participate in NAOR. So much fun to race with these guys, talk to these guys through the week. They're, like I said, it's a tight-knit group of friends. Everybody knows everybody. We like to race. We like to have fun. And just like tonight, it was a lot of fun. Like you said, I had the race kind of fall away from me there in the middle. But ultimately, it took those cautions. That last caution put me in a shot to get up there and race with new tires. Some guys didn't have tires left, so I desperately needed those cautions to fall the way they did to have a shot, or else we would have never gotten back up much past. I think we were running third when the caution came out. So those cautions really saved my race as far as a shot to win.
All right, and that was your race winner and champion, Chris Wright.
Thanks, Chris, for pushing us to do better, because we're all trying to catch you. So you got to race faster, guys, and I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, and every week there's other fast guys too. I won 4 races, but just like tonight, I wasn't going to win it with 5 to go, and a lot of these guys, I can't say enough about some of the guys that are new and getting better. Josh and Nick are always fast. Cole's really fast on the short run, and then you got guys who are improving. Braden missed most of the season, but he's a guy that's a threat to win mostly every week. Donnie Kite, I think, is a guy that you guys are going to talk about a lot next season as far as the speed he's starting to bring to the track. He was really fast tonight, got caught up in an issue there and in the middle of the race. If Zach sticks with it, hopefully Zach can run well too. It's growing, and it's all because of this guy right here. Josh Arnold runs a great league and lets us all vote on everything. He doesn't make a decision without asking everybody's opinion, and runs a really great league. It's a lot of fun to race over here with all these guys.
Thanks, Chris.
Well,
I wanted to bring Jose up here to kind of talk about his season, and I tell you, he's becoming the Hunter Peach of NAOR as far as finishing second. I don't see him still in the chat, but just a shout out to Jose. You called it during the broadcast tonight. He shows up at the end of these runs, at the end of these races. He's, doesn't always qualify the best, but he's one of the closers that I would say in this league to be a threat to grab a win. He doesn't have a NAOR win yet, which is over the years it's been very elusive to get your first. Once you get your first, it's like super easy to get your second. But no, shout out to Jose he's always been right there, so close to being able to come up and talk to you guys. Just hasn't gotten a chance.
Yeah, he had a really great race tonight. Just not able to get it done. But,
Came up just short at Charlotte last week too, so.
Yeah, I feel like he'll get one very soon.
Oh yeah. But I just want to say thank you to everybody else. Thank you to you, Josh, Jonathan, Adam, everybody out there that helped on your side of things. And we'll see you here in a month or so. I'll let y'all wrap it up.
Yeah, and I believe John wants to tell us what car and track we're going to be running.
Yes, so when this league returns in the beginning of April, they will be running at Las Vegas in a day race in the Gen 6 car. So look forward to that coming in April. And real quick, I'm going to get my own personal shout-outs out of the way for this season, especially Josh. You brought me on probably, I think it was the Suzuka race where I debuted in this league as a broadcaster. Obviously, I had done the pit road reporting at the end of the last slide job season, and you had texted me one night asking for a co-commentator because Adam was not going to make the race that night. I appreciate you bringing me on, and not only bringing me on for that night, but allowing me to stay around for the rest of the season. To J-Paw, Josh Arnold, just know that this league does feel like home to me because it was the one I got to do my big debut with. And I will always gladly come back and call a race for this league. You guys put on a great show and a great product. To everybody who supported myself and JCTV throughout the goings, there is more coming, believe me. Making myself more available to them as a company and making Josh's company grow is my main goal right now, and I hope we can continue to grow. So thank Josh, J-Paw, Josh Arnold, and everybody who helps put on this league and put on JCTV. We've had a great last month or so together since I joined the team, and I just hope it continues.
And yeah, I just want to say what a season this has been. It has been very incredible. I was very sad to not be in the driver's seat, but it has been very amazing calling these races from up top, and I'm looking forward to next season so much. Looking forward to Vegas as well. Should be a really good one.
Also, looking forward to the rest of our schedule for this week. We crown a champion tomorrow night. Josh, you're going to be on track. We crown a champion with the ITPN in the Pits News Truck Series. As we already talked about in the middle goings of this race, long shot for Michael Kruger to possibly take out current points leader Jonathan Parker. But that would require Jonathan Parker to either not show up or for there to be 23 or more cars and Jonathan Parker to have a terrible run. But still, the title is up for grabs tomorrow night, Saturday night. ITPN Truck Series at Kansas. be sure to tune in to JCTV for that. And Tuesday, Josh, you're going to be back in the booth, and I get to hop in the driver's seat with the Slide Job series.
Yeah, and looking forward to that one as well. Slide Job always puts on a great show each week as well. And yeah, I'm looking forward to being back in the booth. I've been dealing with a lot of pain recently. I think it's finally starting to go away. And so, yeah, last Tuesday, decided to step back and try to rest my shoulder a bit, just rest my body. But look forward to being back for that. Looking forward to crowning a champion tomorrow night in the ITBN trucks. That should be a good one as well. But you know what? While we're waiting for ITPN trucks tomorrow night, or even next season for the Di9 Designs NAOR series, check out Fastlane JCTV podcast. Every week, Adam and I put on the podcast, interview a lot of drivers. I know one of the things I want to do during this off season. Actually, we want to keep these guys involved, and one of my goals that I'd like to see is getting some of the drivers together from back in the console days, and just kind of having a moment to really reminisce throughout the years. I think it'd be cool because a lot of these guys are friends. They've raced with each other for so long. This was season 12 of the Di9 NAR series. There is a lot of history here. So definitely, I'd love to sit down with a few drivers, talk with them about it, throughout the years. I know myself, I've got a lot of history with some of these guys, so it'd be really cool to talk with them as well. But yeah, just keep an eye out for that. And while we're away, we still have the MF Racing Design Slide Job Racing League on Tuesday nights. Check them out. But what a season we saw, and champion crown tonight in Chris Wright. And on behalf of everybody that makes this happen, I thank each and every one of you for tuning in, watching. We thank you all for watching. Big shout out to JUICYSPYDR Gaming for all the video graphics they made. C2 Graphics for the ticker. A lot of the graphics that I use behind the scenes as well. Di9 Designs for supporting the NAOR series. John, you for coming along and broadcasting a lot of this series, this season with me. Adam Kuhn not here tonight. He is on a flight to California to go to the Auto Club race this weekend. So that's why he's not here tonight. But big shout out, and thank you to him. And Dawson Allen, he was here for a few of our races as well. And everything he does for JCTV. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody, and I'm sorry if I am. But another shout out I want to give is to Josh Arnold for this amazing series that he puts on. I love the whole Your League thing, where he lets every driver decide on what they're doing. And we heard it from him earlier that there's going to be a lot of votes during the off season to really figure out what we're doing this season, this upcoming season for them. So stay tuned. Looking forward to that. I am Joshua Carpenter. Stay safe, guys. Take care. We will see you next time